Check, 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 1, 2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Part 2 in conversation. Alliance Entertainment musical showcase with independent international recording artist Cyrilia will be joining us back for part 2. I want to welcome you guys. Don't forget, you can join us each and every week, each and every Tuesday, HotTopicCelebTV.com. Don't forget, check us out each and every Tuesday night for Hot Topics After Dark, unscripted and uncensored. And every Sunday night, Hot Topics Celeb TV, Sunday service, Hollywood actors, directors, producers in conversation. Tonight, joining us for part 2, Cyrilia. Don't forget, guys, if you missed the full show and full podcast, you can subscribe to the website, Hot Topics Celeb TV. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, and YouTube as well. And you can also find us on iHeartRadio. So we are back with the beautiful Cyrilia for part 2 of our exclusive interview and showcase. Welcome back, you guys who are just dropping in back on this conversation. We thank you for the patience. So, Miss Cyrilia, where we picked off,
we discussed a range of topics, how I balance things, my independent artist journey, the songs that I put out before, the performance that I did. And I think we were just here to wrap it up.
So where I want to continue off in the sense, number one for you is, you when was that moment when you decided to leave Trinidad and go, all the way out of all places to Seoul, Korea? And why not, obviously, for the place where everyone obviously comes to music to start their musical career, the United States? Why did you take the journey to Seoul, Korea, and not the path to go to the United States? And what was that moment when you decided to make that choice? What was the reason behind leaving Trinidad and making that choice to go?
I didn't choose to come to South Korea, to be honest. I did choose, however, to leave my country because I was getting a job offering in Asia to tour those 5-star hotels. So I did that for a year, and the company decided it was time for the band, our 7-piece band, to come to South Korea. And that's how I ended up here. However, I did decide to stay here because I really felt it was just all new to me. And I love the way Seoul is. It's very international. Everybody's so busy. And I decided to stay. It's a very safe country here, and the technology is just mind-blowing. But now I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to go to another part of the world, learn things there, and keep growing and learning. I didn't choose to come here, and the end of it all.
But what did you find for you the biggest adjustment from coming from Trinidad and going to Seoul? Not only the cultural differences, but the differences in a sense for you as an artist in a new country with, obviously, maybe not a lot of people that you knew out there. What was that adjustment like for you? Was it hard? Was it easy? Was it?
For me personally, it was easy to just exist and survive, to be honest. So surviving is easy for me because I just moved around so much times throughout my childhood in different households, living with people I don't know, and it's easy to learn people, right? It's difficult because of our cultural differences compared to Korea and and the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, what really impacts me is the culture of us jamming in the Caribbean. We just come together and we jam. I have never been to a jam here. If the musicians get together, over here, it's because they have to rehearse for a gig. They are very professional and whatever as well, I should mention. In Korea, the musicians know how to read and really professional. They went to school for that. Compared to in the Caribbean, many of them did not go to school. They just have that natural ability to just like jam, play music and stuff. There's other problems that I think other foreigners as well feel. For me personally, the child protection laws are freaking crazy here. They need to do better for real.
In what way? Explain for the people that don't know.
Okay, so or just safety laws for against women. You know, like recently in the news here last week, a boyfriend, he was 27. He
Okay.
put a hole. I don't know what part of the woman he put the hole in, and he put a padlock through her after he made the hole in her flesh, and he locked her up, because she didn't want her having sex with somebody else, and
Okay.
he just got a year. He got 1 year in prison for that, and
Wow.
the said reason being is because he has the mindset of a 10-year-old. According to my husband, I don't know any 10-year-old that thinks like that.
Hmm.
So anyway, things like that. But we have problems wherever we go, whatever countries we live in, there would be issues that we have problems with. Yeah.
Well, I know for you, I mean, you coming there, I mean, what I've noticed with you, and I've always said, you've been like the Madonna and Gaga of the West Indies because
Hi.
you literally, when I say, are probably one of the only few women that I know that literally looks like a different woman every time you log on to Instagram. Like you have so many different looks, so many different styles. And I've always said to you, I'm like, your husband is the luckiest man on the planet because it's like he's having a different woman every single night of the
It's the
week.
same crazy me.
And it's the
It's the
same crazy
same.
girl in between, but there's so many layers of facets. And when I look at some of your older images and shots from when you were, when you first came to Seoul, Korea, your look, it was more of an Asian look. Like you could see the Asian features. And then
Yeah, that's
obviously as
true.
years progressed, you evolved into this glamour and eccentric and stylish and everything else. So for you, like, did you, being a foreigner, was that part of your plan with that look to blend in so that you wouldn't deal with discrimination? Or did you
No,
feel,
I
well,
think.
let me finish. The second part, did you also at all for yourself as a new artist, being from the West Indies, feel any discrimination or racism aspects towards you? Like, even for example, you know, as a performer being on stage and being accepted and really feeling in your soul that the people that you're performing for were accepting you not based on where you were from, not based on your background, but loving you for your talent? Or did you ever feel that there was some sort of degree that you had to change who you were from the artist that you were in Trinidad to sort of conform? Because as you know, being in Seoul, Korea, being under those strict guidelines of the way the countries are run, and the differences of not being able to maybe, as you say, be your authentic self as you want to portray out to the crowd? Did you just sort of say, okay, I got to play this role for right now? Or did you just say, this is what I want to do, this is all part of my plan?
Yeah. When I first got here, I didn't know much. To be honest, the makeup is just. You better to bring your own makeup and import it because you're gonna end up looking another shade lighter.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. So that's why my makeup would look. I was looking very Asian at the time too because, yeah, yeah, the makeup is what I was using. But when I was in Trinidad, you see these like anime and these kung fu movies, and sometimes they have the hair red. I just wanted to live out that phase, to be honest, and do these
Mm-hmm.
crazy colors. However, I realized more and more that I am an ambassador of the Caribbean, and feel immensely proud to bring that culture with me here. Sometimes I do have restrictions in expressing my sexuality on stage because it's
Mm-hmm.
very conservative. This crowd over here has been so welcoming, and so if you sing the songs they know and love, they are going crazy about it. Crazy,
Mm-hmm.
crazy, 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 crazy. They love it. Um, and they love live music. They love having a good time, and it's really easy here compared to back home
Okay.
when you perform and give you all, and they'll be like, "Yeah, she was alright, but this could do better." They're just happy to hear you performing and have a good time. Meanwhile, back home, it's like Michael Jackson could perform and they would still have a problem. I feel like the Caribbean crowd is so harsh.
But what did you find for yourself as an artist and for example, West Indian artists that are looking to cross over the way that you did, what would you say the differences between performing for the audience in Trinidad and Tobago compared to performing in
It's
front of
easy.
Seoul, Korea?
It's
The
easy.
differences.
When you do what you love and you have fun on stage and you just do it, people appreciate it here. It's so
But
hard.
what would you say the differences, though, the actual differences between performing in front of a crowd in Trinidad and Tobago to an Asian crowd in Seoul, Korea?
They just go crazy. They love it. I just want to say they appreciate that here. They just like they go crazy. I don't know how to explain it again. They're like, yeah,
More like
they
they're
jump
more.
with their hands up and they.
Are they more enthusiastic for you as a performer? Like, for example, did you feel more love? Well, that's the correct question. Did you feel more love in Trinidad, or did you feel more love in Seoul, Korea?
No, in Seoul, Korea, obviously,
Okay.
100 million, 1,000 gazillion %. I feel loved. I feel accepted. I feel they appreciate my work. I feel like, yo, I pour my heart out, and it's not like, it's not like that. In back home in Korea, in Trinidad, I feel it's hard, especially when you're not doing soca and you're not doing the traditional Caribbean sound music. It's really hard. Meanwhile, here, if you sing the normal Billboard music, they love that. If you do something a bit Caribbean, they're like, okay, we like it. They don't know the song, but they just feel your energy. Something you can't hide from.
So, what advice would you give to an artist that is looking to make that jump, whether it be to Seoul, Korea, whether it be just to step out of the Trinidad and Tobago comfort zone? What they need to know before making that decision to come?
Open your mind and understand that this world is bigger than your traditional beliefs, because sometimes you would expect people to be a certain way and they're really not it. Yeah, it's like, for example, culture shock would be a thing for real. Not all Chinese people eat dog. Not all Asians are Chinese. These stereotypes I also vocal about, because we in the Caribbean, I feel, are just like, we need to stop it for real. For real, real. These people have their dogs here in freaking Louis Vuitton, in Balenciaga. Yo, they don't freaking play with their dogs, y'all. Yes, some parts in the countryside eat dog, just like some parts in the countryside eat wild meat like deer and shit. But in the main city, they wouldn't eat stuff like that. I'd be like, what the hell are you eating, right? So it's the same thing here. Some people in the countryside eat dogs. They are petitioned to stop it. Meanwhile, where I am in the big cities, these people worship their dogs. Their dogs aren't baby strollers, yo. They have boots on their dogs and shit. Like, the dogs have better life than me back home when I was in Trinidad. For real.
I know you've been an active advocate, an activist, against sexual abuse and sexual child trafficking. Explain to the viewers where that passion to be that voice came from. Was it from personal experience? Was it from just wanting to see change of injustice? Explain to people that why you're so passionate about that.
It is from personal experience. We need to normalize talking about things like that. We need to implement laws that hold people accountable for not only sexual abuse of children, but also of adults, as well as human trafficking. It's real. It's a real thing,
But where for you? Like where for you in your personal experience?
Sexual abuse multiple times by
Okay.
different people that I should obviously have trusted, because they were supposed to be my father figure in my life, or just an adult like that doesn't interfere with a child. Christ, So because of those things, I am very active on it. Hello to everybody on the live. Everybody, hi.
Welcome, guys, to HotTopicCelebTV.com. If you have a question for Cyrilia, we will be answering it towards the end of this show. You'll also be accepting 3 callers into this conversation. So if you guys have a question, please drop it below. If you want to enter and have me accept you in, just make sure you send a request, leave a message that you sent one, and then before the end of the show, we will let you in. So for you, like, obviously, being a sexual abuse survivor and having to have unfortunately gone through that, what is your goal in your hopes for someone that has gone through something like that what is the thing that if you could speak to somebody that is, you know, dealing with that pain, that obviously, you know, it's clearly hard to heal from and clearly hard to get over.
Yeah.
What would you say to them if you could talk to a young girl that's in that situation right now?
Whatever is happening or what has happened, it was not your fault. Don't blame yourself for that, first of all. Secondly, is when you do begin healing, don't compare your healing journey to others and how fast they have healed compared to you. And thirdly, do what you need to do to heal, whether it's cleansing or taking a shower or just talking to one person nearby in your life to let them know, because that lessens the burden on your shoulder. And learn to spend time with yourself, be alone with yourself, and then to love yourself. Yeah, those things are really, 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 really important, especially if you want to move on in a relationship. Because before, like I wrote in Be Kind, when I didn't deal with all those issues, you put that burden on your partner and you hope that they are the fix. They are not the fix. You really need to get into you and spend time with yourself. Don't be afraid to be alone. And love yourself and learn to love yourself. Stare at yourself in the mirror and look at yourself. You're not ugly. You're not broken. You will grow over this. And unfortunately, it is not something that you will fully heal from completely because it continues all through your life. You would have times that it just pops back in your head just like that. You didn't ask for it. It's just a smell or a mood or the way the sun is or the environment. So you will have to keep building mental strength on it, and do not normalize this behavior. And when you hear someone else talk about it, do not shut them down, because you do not help that situation. Because I feel like people who have suffered this as well, they like don't talk about it or tell people not to talk about it, which is very, very, very harmful. So that's all I have to say about those. That's
so how do you deal with obviously, as I said, coming from that trauma and coming from that type of pain, in the sense of number one of like how would you necessarily say to somebody that has, you know, obviously gone through what you've gone through and trying to, you know, restart their life over again and trying to pick up from where, you know, to even for you processing getting married and having a family, to be able to come back from that hurdle, from that type of abuse in trusting and letting a partner in and letting somebody, number one, be able to look, because obviously the scars run deep and it's very hard for people to get over that and necessarily be able to trust. What was your process for being able to trust somebody again after going through that type of experience?
Exactly all the things I just said. It's like it heals you. I did what I need to do to heal. I spend time alone, and when you do that, you learn to really love yourself, appreciate yourself, know your worth, and again, not blaming yourself is so important too. So everything that I just said before would be applicable to what, or is applicable to what I did, because I did it. I know that's what helped, you know.
Did you have that conversation, obviously, with your partner before you guys got married? And was he, you know, because obviously, I mean, as I said, with the trusting aspect, whether it be sexual or whatever, like, did you find him to be a patient person? Because obviously, anyone who's dealing with someone who's gone through that has to learn how to have patience, you know, in those aspects.
He is. But most importantly, he just listened. And that's what the people that are listening to the stories of survivors or people who have been abused, that's all you need to do in that time. Just listen. Not make any excuse for nothing. Just listen to the victim, to the survivor, say what they need to do. They just really need you to listen. And that's what my husband did. Until I pried him for his own thoughts, which he obviously thinks it's disgusting. But he was just listening. You know, it's therapeutic. So yeah.
If you, I mean, I know that you've been vocal in regards to getting justice for your situation that obviously hasn't came. And if you could speak to that, to those individuals right now who put you through that trauma, what would you say to them?
I would say that they know what happened. They know the truth. And because when I did speak about it vocally on my live, I was attacked. I was told that I'm destroying the lives of people with my. And the thing is, if you are the person that has caused the hurt, if you are the abuser, you changed, you should apologize to me and the other people you have abused, to let them know I've reflected in myself. I saw where I was wrong. Please forgive me. And if you don't forgive me, just know that I'm truly sorry. I did not have that. There was no outreach. And then from my experience, I've learned that this person groped and fondled other women, over 10 people. You know, I was like, if you did change and I'm damaging your name and your reputation, as you say, come out and say it. Mm-hmm. Come and tell me in private if if you are really not a sexual abuser anymore. Why you don't come and tell me that you're sorry?
But do you think people? I mean, obviously, people say a lot of times I've healed. Do you think that those people, those individuals, those predators, they actually ever really reform in their ways?
Yeah. People can change and grow. People can grow. Maybe the person that have sexually abused me grew. How can you grow, however, and change without admitting you're wrong, at least to the person you hurt? Like, how can you get closure on that? I am still alive.
But would you accept it is the question? Because a lot of times, I know with victims who have gone through sexual abuse, they want to hear their predators admit what they did, but they still don't accept what they did. Right. They just want to be able to hear it because they want to be able to take that power back. That to them is them admitting what they did is almost like they're getting their power back that was taken from them, but they still don't forgive and say you're still the same piece of shit that you were.
That is right. As long as you didn't ask for forgiveness or make some sort of private or public statement, in my book, you never changed. You must see where you did wrong to change. And if you don't see that you did something wrong, well, then how can you change? So that's the answer to their question. How would you know somebody changed? Like, there's this program I watch on YouTube. It's called Soft White Underbelly. And there was a lady that was arrested for sexually assaulting her own child. And I needed to watch it. It was gripping. It was gripping. It's like this person had sex with an 8-year-old. And it's just so much emotions. And I'm opening back all my wounds here. But I had to listen to her story. I had to know why. When she was also that same age, her father did that to her. He said, if you really love me, you will have sex with me. And that's her father raped and abused her countless times. And so when she had her child, she told her son, if you love me, that's because what she's learned, right? And it's just like a cycle that kept on. But she said, I'm so sorry for what I did. I did not know that. And I know she's either trying to change or began changing. And that's how I can tell if a predator did that, right? But my predator, he's still alive. And he's still married to my aunt for over 20 years. Like, come on, y'all, get it together. So, yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for your strength, Cyrilia, and I think you are a true warrior in the aspect of how you have persevered and you didn't let this break you. You didn't let this slow you down. I think to me that as terrible as those things that happened to you, it gave you a gift because it gave you a gift to be fearless. It gave you a gift in the sense to, number one, to go out to the world and be able to touch people with your music as you've done. And I think that, that you are a telling sign that you are not defined by your past unless you let it, and you've overcome things that no young little girl should have to overcome. But, or boy.
Because that shit happens to boys.
Or even adults. Even adult. Nobody should have to go through any of it.
Anyone.
So my hat's off to you. So like for you, if you could talk this Cyrilia to a younger self Cyrilia, what advice would you give her?
This will be your strength. This will, this is happening and you are going to overcome it, and it will give you strength, and it will help someone else. That's what I would say. Because I don't think it can be changed. My destiny cannot be changed. And I was in religion at the time, and I couldn't freaking understand why it was happening. When it was preached to me that God is love. Like, I have a child, and I love my son. I would never, being all-powerful, allow something like that to happen to my child. So what I realized is, like, okay, maybe it's not the God. Maybe it's just the universe. And this is just in your destiny. You must overcome this. You must. You have to go through it. There's no change. There's no way you can change that.
But did you ever feel, after going through sexual abuse at a young age and becoming a parent, has it made you less trusting in the world, in the sense of
it increased my awareness. I was always less trusting because of those same things that has happened to me. Having somebody that's supposed to be a father bribe you with snacks as a 2.5-year-old child to come inside of your mouth. Some things happen to your mind from that age. You definitely are changed. You definitely have trust issues. I have trust issues with my own husband. Not that I need a reason for it, but my trust issues is always there. People are like, hey, you can't trust everyone in your circle. I have no fucking circle. I deal with everybody on that one level. You fuck up your trust with me, and you will never, ever, ever, ever get it back, because people hardly change. So, my trust issues, not trust issues. It's like my level of awareness is fucking ridiculous.
But do you feel that's affected you in relationships, not just in like personal relationships, but in professional relationships, to not have that? Because I see this, and I had this discussion last night, on yesterday's show with a guest, where, there's so many people that I feel that get thrown in the same brush, even though when it's not warranted for somebody else's experience. Like when someone sits there and says to me, well, I got fucked up by this person, or I got hurt by that person, I'm like, look, I'm sorry that happened to you. You okay with it? I'm sorry that happened to you.
I'm rearranging the thing here.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm sorry that happened to you, but that ain't got shit to do with me. Because unless I give you a reason to not trust me, then you should take me as face value of how I treat you going forward. And because to me, especially, it always happens when people who are in a position where they're coming to you for help. And they're like, can you help me with this? And it's just like, okay, you're coming to me for help. But then you're still questioning whether or not that person's character, or what their value is to you, or what their motives are, based on your past experiences of being someone breaking your trust. So for you, have you ever had it affect your business relationships as well as your personal relationships because of your experiences?
It affects and it plays a role in all of my relationships, business, friendships, every single thing. Because what you learn, right, from your experience should never ever be forgotten. So I give everybody first trust. I trust you face value from the get-go. When I start seeing tendencies or behaviors or traits that I really think is a red flag, then I withdraw myself, or I just completely just like go cold turkey, because you don't want to get involved with manipulative people or so it does.
But do you address it though? Do you address it? Because a lot of times people, like, where, for example, you said that, like, certain things that you may see or assume or think, that person, A, might not even be aware of. B, it may not even be anything. Maybe in your own mind that things you're portraying based on your experience. So to me, would it not make more sense to address the person
But if you address it, and
Mm-hmm.
the point is that you don't like this particular thing anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a part of the person's behavior. So if you tell them about it, how can they possibly change if it's something that they naturally do that you don't like?
But if you
People
don't,
want
what if,
you can
what if they don't
voice your
know?
opinions,
Mm-hmm.
and
You
hear
would
what they
address it
say.
though. You would
Yeah,
address it though.
sometimes you
Okay.
address it. It depends on what it is. It depends
Okay.
on what it is. Somebody made a joke about I was hanging out, and they're like, "Wow, your vagina must be tight like a 5-year-old." What is there to address? That is just fucking disgusting. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
And I think for you, obviously, with what you've been through, that they would your voiceover cut out.
It depends on. Yeah, I was getting a call. It depends on what it is. So there's traits, like I said, you will see it as signs. You know it as a red flag. You decide if you want to talk about somebody with it, or you just say, yeah, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I see you doing X, Y, and Z. I don't really like it. And if it goes on again, just snap it by the neck and move on. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot change people. If somebody does something and it doesn't sit with your energy, remove yourself from it. On to the next.
So for you, like, what would you say has been, as an artist for yourself, the highest achievement for yourself that you've achieved in your career, and biggest disappointment or regret?
Best achievement was in Korea, a foreign country. I don't properly speak the language, and I was able to. They shut down a bridge, the same bridge
Okay.
that's in the Black Panther movie, and I was one of 2 people to perform on that bridge with over 25,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
That was epic. So that is my highlight of my career. I performed on the Black Panther Bridge that was exclusively shut down for the marathon that was happening, but we were the 2 live performers that were on it. It was really nice. And the lowest point of my career was when I quit music. And it just like you could see, I just went into a dark place.
Remember, I told you
You
never
know,
quit. You would
that
never
was the
quit.
lowest point. But I'm never gonna fall back into that because I found purpose, and yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
So what for you is the goal that you hope to accomplish, not only as an artist, but with your music?
I just want to be able to be a successful singer in the sense of I earn enough money to manage myself, my family, and leave a substantial amount behind for my child, but also to get enough income to give back to single parents. I want to have a
Mm-hmm.
single parent foundation, as well as I'm currently working with some foundations that fight human trafficking in children, and I want to be able to be more, be a philanthropist more in that department. So it's not very hard what I want to do, but I would like to have more funds to push into those things.
What is success to you?
Just being able to cover costs and not worry about when the next meal is gonna come from, having financial stability and a peace of mind.
So I want to ask you, before we do live, I want to ask you some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So if you could learn the answer to one question about your future, what would the question be?
About my future, it has to be when I'm gonna die, I think.
I mean, everybody wants to know that answer. Okay, time freezes for everyone, but you for one day. What do you do?
I walk the earth naked.
That's any different than any other day?
Aha! Without being judged, and that's part.
What is something you're obsessed with?
Fruits, buying food.
When you're not making music, what's your favorite way to waste time?
Driving and looking at the outside. Yeah, it has been recently.
What is something that is popular now that annoys you?
Music, mainstream music.
What do you do? What was it, TikTok?
TikTok as well. Yeah, it's annoying.
What do you do to get rid of stress?
Masturbate.
Same here. What three words would best describe you?
Determined, strong, or determined, resilient, and cherry.
Where is the most beautiful place you've been?
I have to think about it. I've been a lot of places. Hold on. Ew. Oh, this is a hard one.
Pick one. Your top choice.
I would have to say Vietnam.
Where is the most relaxing place you've ever been?
Vietnam.
What word or saying from the past do you think should come back?
What? Sorry, from the past. Sorry.
What word or catchphrase or saying from the past do you think should come back?
One word from the past. Okay, let me see.
Could be a slang, something people used to talk about back in the day, a word they used to use in a sentence that they don't say anymore.
This is a hard one. Anything from those 50s era though. I love
Give me one. Give me a catchphrase or term.
Like, oh golly.
Okay.
Oh, good golly.
What was the last movie you watched?
Yeah, I don't really watch movies. Okay, last movie. Whew, I really have to go deep into this one. I can't remember. Jesus Christ, what was the last movie I watched? I watch Netflix most these days. Sorry. It doesn't have to be a movie. Oh, it has to be a movie. Okay.
Yeah, pick one.
Oh, what was the last movie I watched? Oh my God, I don't remember. I don't remember. It's been that long.
Okay, I'll give you then for that I'm gonna give you a different question. Do you ever have sex to your own music?
Sometimes I sing it while I'm writing my husband.
Which song would that be? Which song so we know? Is it Angel Singing?
Of course, Angels. You know, I like that. No, I just wild. Sometimes, you know, sex is such a beautiful thing, especially when it's someone you can trust. You can do dumbest shit with, and it's the best.
Do you prefer to watch movies in the theater or in the comfort of your home?
Home.
What was the last funny video you saw?
It was recently. Oh yeah, it was this black girl. She was black, and she was emo. I think she probably is in real life, and she's like being emo with black parents. That shit was so hilarious.
What's a secret talent that you do that nobody knows?
I don't really have something that I do that nobody does. That sucks, right?
You don't have a secret talent that you've never shared with anybody?
No, I don't. I'm not like I can blow bubbles from my ass or anything. I don't have any talent that I know. I'm very versatile, that's all.
What song always puts you in a good mood?
Oh man, anything from Sade.
Are there any songs that whenever you hear it, the minute you hear it, that bring a tear to your eye?
Wild Horses.
Who is that by?
The Sundays did it over, but it's originally the Rolling Stones. What was the first band or musician that you were really into that made you fall in love with music? I grew up with Calypso, so I love how our culture in Trinidad is just so, yeah. So name one band. Name one band or musician or artist. It's not just one though. The one that really, right now that made me fall back in music is James Brown. Right now. What are the 3 best apps on your phone? Instagram. That's one. Instagram. Notes is important. The Notes app, so I can write down my lyrics, and FaceTime.
An app mysteriously appears on your phone. It does something really amazing. What does it do?
It sends money to my freaking account just like that.
What is the fashion trend you're really glad went away? And what's the fashion trend you're really glad came back?
Oh God. So in Korea, I like the one that came back. In Korea, the girls' hair wear rollers in their hair and they leave it. Annoys the fuck out of me. Why? You know the one I mean, like the curlers. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
that
yeah.
you know you sleep with that shit and then you wake up and it's curly. No, they leave that all through the hair. I guess I can't stand that. So that is what came back that I would rather go away, and what gone away and I want to come back. I would like vintage, like men in tux and women in that vintage. I would love that.
You know, I love you when you wear that tux, by the way, man. You rock a tux like nobody's business. I think you need to
Thank
rock that
you.
look more often. What is the most comfortable piece of clothing you own?
Anything that is lingerie.
How many pairs of shoes do you own?
Not a lot. Maybe 40.
The first time you came into money, what was the most ridiculous thing you ever bought?
Clothes. I would be clothes. Nothing brand name, but the shit was just expensive and I needed to have it. So.
Is there a specific thing, like a specific item that you bought that was like you bought it, you're like, this is way, I shouldn't spend the money on this, it was way too expensive?
Yeah, it was like a $700 dress by no brand. I did it for my career.
So I know you, whether it be online, as a woman in this century, but also just as a worldwide artist, and performing and being a sex symbol and being in front of people, what is the funniest pickup line you've ever heard a guy use on you?
Funniest pickup line. What? Like I pickup line. That is just not even register. Hey, I don't know.
What was the pickup line? Okay, what was the pickup line your husband used on you when he went to make?
I thought he was gay. To be, that's how bad it was. He had to get his wingman to set us up. That was so bad.
So what was the pickup line though? What was the pickup line?
No, maybe his pickup line was like, let's go on a boat. He has a boat that he wants to have dinner on it.
Okay.
And he was telling me my dress was very provocative for the night and I didn't like that, so I canceled.
If you could call up anyone in the world right now, living or dead, and have a 1 hour conversation with them, who would you call?
Living or dead. The elitist, the most elite person.
Who's that?
I do not know. Whoever it is, I have to summon them.
You gotta pick one. You gotta pick one. You gotta pick one person, living or dead, name. Who would you call? You have 1 hour to talk to them, to ask them anything, to pick their brain.
Oh, maybe I should pick somebody that's dead, right? That no. Okay. Maybe I'll call Michael Jackson.
And what would be the first question you would ask them?
And how is life really outside there? Is it, is there really heaven? Is there really a heaven out there?
When the world opens up and people are able to fly freely again, if you could sit on a plane next to anyone in the world, living or dead, on a 10-hour flight, who would you most likely want to sit next to?
I would like to sit next to. Oh my God. Who can I learn the most from? But I want to have a good time with, like we can do shots.
10-hour flight. You're on a member.
I'll sit next to Rihanna. I'll sit next to Rihanna. She has a lot to sit that she can teach me.
And you better make sure your belly is light because she likes to drink a lot on flights. So just letting you know that.
I'm gonna pass out then.
Who is your favorite entertainer, comedian, musician, actor, etc.?
I don't have favorites. I really, really forget.
Favorite artist that inspired you.
I love Shadi. You know, I really love Shadi, but uh, Shadi is so much artist that I really, really love.
If you could be a personal mascot, like a mascot you'd see on a team, what mascot would you be?
The naked girl that runs in the halftime show, like that gets arrested later.
That's not a mascot. That's a crazy person.
Yeah, scream naked. I don't know. Advocate for more nudity, like for the nipples.
What is the most craziest, most outrageous thing you want to achieve in your life?
Oh, unlimited money to just give away and give away and give away, and I believe it's possible. Just find money and just give away to people. That's outrageous. It's almost impossible, but that's what I want.
What do you hope to achieve in your professional life?
And honestly, right now, I would like to bring back meaningful music. In my music life, that's what I would love. I want to be, yeah, she was a fucking icon that brought back soul and emotion and stage, and she just raised the, that's what I want to fucking do. That's what I want to be, that, like that girl, yeah.
What is for you being of a mixed biracial descent? What does representation mean for you on both sides?
I really need to do an ancestry test, but sometimes it feels like you're not good enough, you're not Caribbean enough, you're not black enough, you're not white or light skin enough, you're not American enough over here. You know, they only want to hire Americans and Canadians to teach in schools, you know. It's just, everything is you're not enough, you're not enough, you're not enough. Like, fucking hell. I'm a voice for the minority, for the not enoughs. That's what I am. So it's like, I just, you know what I always say? What's the color white? What's the color white? Do you see white people looking like that? What's the color black? You see black people, and we just like divide ourselves by colors, and it's like, that is not even fucking real. Like, how are we so stupid? You know, I just like exist and deal with people on an energy thing. But I'm so tired of being not enough, and I'm just like, yo, you want to subscribe to those names and titles and genders and all this fucking shit? People are hurting. Change needs to come in this world. You can get caught up in that, or just focus on being a good person.
And for you, like, what would you, obviously with your son, Carrie, you know, obviously the time, and he's obviously at an age where there's so much going on in the world right now. There's so much chaos, there's so much racism, there's so much violence, there's so much divide, there's so much social, economical issues.
Yes.
What is your hope for him being the next generation? And what advice would you feel you could best give him to navigate, especially all the experience that you've gone through in your life, to be able to get through if he was able to face those situations that waits for him?
Always ask why. Always question the way things are. You know, I think like often we make the mistakes we did, or we treat people a certain way because of how we learn it, and it's really not the right way. Not because we learn it, not that because it was passed down means it's right. So I want him to always question things, and most certainly, like, don't be racist. Like, deal with people from a respectful point of view. Somebody disrespect you, deal with that in another way. You know, I mean, respect everybody and defend yourself when you need to. Is what I want to say. Yeah.
But right now, I mean, with everything that's happening with the Asian hate crimes and the black hate crimes that have been going on forever, how has that been for you living in an Asian country with all of this shit going on and being on both sides, being a black woman, being, you know, in that culture? Have you experienced racism towards you during these times? And have you experienced or witnessed racism towards others
Yeah.
living where you're living right now, and how has that affected you?
So particularly after the COVID settled down a bit here in South Korea, I got a job to perform, and I was told we are only having Asians right now. That's one thing. All foreigners are sometimes in the same pool, white, black, red, it doesn't freaking matter. You know, they are not Koreans, and they are sometimes looked down on as such. So I would have some Facebook expat groups, some people of Caucasian descent saying, wow, I kind of finally understand how black people feel because today a Korean lady scorned me, or blah, blah, blah. And, you know, we have xenophobia as a big thing here, but I try not to pay it any mind, you know? People are going to do what they need to do, whichever part of the world you are in. There's always a way out. There's always another way. I try not to make my descent or origin be a reason for me to be a victim. I always try to take the higher road, you know. All right, you don't want to work with me because I'm a Caribbean artist. Well, you're lost. You know, because I'm not singing K-pop, okay? So, yeah.
So, lastly here, and then we're going to have you sign off and then hop on and do your last performance.
But I really have to go. Like right now, Carrie's in the shower by himself. So.
You want to do that, and then we'll come back on, and like once you've done that.
I'm not sure I can stay on much longer.
No, you'll be doing one track. That's it. You'll be doing one track.
Okay, okay.
So before you close off, I just want you to say, this is Cyrilia, introduce yourself, and I want you to end it with saying, you can find me, I'm going to have you do two. You can find me right here on HotTopicCelebTV.com. And this is Cyrilia, international recording artist, blah, 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 blah. And you can find me right here on D-Teflon.com.
Okay.
So I'm going to count you down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cyrilia, international recording multi-genre artist from Trinidad and Tobago. I invite you to check me out on D-Teflon's page as well as Hot Topic Celeb TV. Enjoy the music, keep the vibe, and be kind.
Hold on, you messed up. It's HotTopicCelebTV.com.
Okay, .com.
Yes, .com, and then DT, not DTT, just D-Teflon.com.
D-Teflon.
Teflon, yeah, exactly. So HotTopicCelebTV.com and D-Teflon.com.
D-Teflon.com, okay.
Okay, so 5,
Let's try again.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. I'm Cyrilia, international multi-genre recording artist from Trinidad and Tobago. I invite you right now to check out my content on HotTopicsCelebTV.com and DTeflon.com. Enjoy the music, be kind, and live in the moment. Thank you.
And Cyrilia, where for the people who are just tuning in, where can they find you? Where can they get your music? Where can they listen to you? Where they can learn more about you?
Okay, you can find me.
My boy, the one I was telling you about, Roger, the Trini version of you, the male version, the one I was telling you about earlier.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Okay, Roger, I'm locking you in. Hold on a second, because I got to get you ready.
DT, I really have to go because Carrie's in the bathroom alone.
So we'll sign off, and then you'll come back and do the track, sign back in, and then we'll close off, and you'll say one part of what to say goodnight.
Okay.
Okay, I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
All right, guys, welcome. We're taking a 5-minute break. That was part 2 with Cyrilia. She's going to be back shortly for one last final performance for the evening. So we're going to take a break for about 10 minutes or so, 20 minutes. So make sure you guys check back here in about 20 minutes' time. We'll be going live. You will see her live performance as we close out the Alliance Entertainment Indie Showcase. Don't forget, each and every week, each and every Tuesday night, HotTopicsCelebTV.com after dark, unscripted and uncensored, and every Sunday service on HotTopicsCelebTV.com. Hollywood actors, directors, producers in conversation. We will see you guys soon.